time, yeah, making a difference, one cup at a time. Tea time. So be sure to grab your tea, grab a seat, and tune in to Miss Liz. Tea time, making a difference, one cup at a time. Tea time, yeah. Tea time, time.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Tea Time with Miss Liz. That's right. It's time for another incredible cup of tea. The TEA is coming to you live with an incredible guest who has an incredible program that we will be talking about. So I'm just going to do a little disclaimer, and then we're going to introduce this incredible guest from Brave Up, and then we will sit and have tea together. Disclaimer with Miss Liz. I am going live on StreamYard, and before leaving a comment, please grant StreamYard permission to use your name at StreamYard.com. Please be advised that content brought forward for any Tea Time show hosted by myself, Miss Liz, is always brought forward in good faith, however, may bring forward dialogue and opinions that are not representative of my platform. The facts and information are perceived to be accurate at the time of airing. All Tea Time guests and audience participants are responsible for using their good judgment in taking any action they may relate to this discussion. The content brought forward may include discussions for some where it may be emotionally at risk. It is significant to know that this show is engaging in discussion form only to offer and inspire awareness with connections and not providing therapeutical advice. If you have any questions about this disclaimer or the panelist discussion, you may freely contact me, Miss Liz, at bookingmissliz@gmail.com. Moving forward, should you choose to voluntarily participate in this show in any aspect, I, Miss Liz, welcome you. Should you decide that this show is not made for you at this time, I respect that, and I will see you in a future show. Moving forward, now I have an incredible guest from Brave Up. So I'm going to jump him into the studio here with me, and I'm going to introduce him with his incredible bio, and then we're going to sit and have tea. And today is an incredible subject, so if you are an educator, you really want to tune into this tea time. So welcome, Alvaro.
Hey.
My tongue, Miss Liz's tongue is getting all twisted already. Alvaro, I'm going to let you introduce yourself. I'm going to do something different today. I'm going to let you introduce yourself and who you are and what you do.
Hey, thank you for having me here. It's amazing for me to be here. I'm Alvaro. I'm from Chile. I'm an entrepreneur from Chile. I'm the founder and CEO of Brave Up. That is a software that prevent and detect bullying and cyberbullying in the schools. I have been working on this in the last 8 to 10 years of my life, trying to prevent the aggression, the discrimination, and all this risk on internet in the schools. I moved a few months ago to the United States. I moved a few months ago to New York to launch this software here in the United States. And yeah, I'm trying to help the schools to fix this global problem, that is bullying and cyberbullying. Yeah.
It is a global problem, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I mean, I thought that I did see all in Latin America. We have a lot of experience there, but when you move, when you go into a different culture, and when you start to see the same problems in the same social media, in the same online gaming, in the same kind of situation, you see like, wow, this is not a problem of a different countries, of a different part of the world. I mean, this is a generation problem. This is a global problem. All these kids, these teenagers are living the same today, the same pressure, the same problem, the same anxiety, the same stress, the same problems on the internet. So yeah, I mean, it's surprising, and it's challenging, I think. Yeah.
Well, the numbers are really scary too, right? And let's get into some of the numbers, because I want the viewers and listeners that are watching now and watching the replay to really understand how deep the numbers are on this topic.
I mean, according to UNICEF, today half of the world's teenagers are victims of bullying. and uh, and it's like in the beginning it's a huge number, but also they give you that the 75% of the victim of bullying or cyberbullying, they never report. So we know that half of the worst teenagers are victim of this, but that's the students that report, that they actually understand that they're living this problem and try to find some help. But a lot of the students, they never do. They never do in the 12 years in the school. So it's a huge number, but I think that it's bigger. The truth is like it's more. And our data, our numbers say that it begins between 7, 8 years in the school. I mean, it's not in the it's not in high school. It's not in middle school. It's in the kids, you know. So now the prevention, it has to be at the beginning with the parents, with all the community, and start to change the way that we're having these relations in the school, you know.
And I like, Alvaro, like you mentioned, the community, the families, because it's not just in the school systems, it's all over, right? And
Absolutely.
and we need to fix that. We need to find the issues and get some solutions. But your program basically works with the school systems, correct?
Yeah, I mean, when we talk about the well-being, the coexistence, the relationship in the school community, we have to think about all the participants of the school community. And we're talking about the students, we're talking about teachers, we're talking about headmaster, we're talking about the school counselors, and we're also talking about the families. I mean, we all are part of this school community. And when we choose to go for one school and not to another school, is because we we believe in that vision, in that purpose, in that rules, in that way that they see the education, the how a citizen grow, you know, because that the school is your first society, is the first place when you see a different person and you start to have this new kind of relationship, not with your family. So the families are so important. You need to involve them. You need to invite them to be part of it because super simple, but they buy the new iPhone, they buy the PlayStation, they buy the Fortnite, you know, and the school counselor, the teachers, they have to deal with that, but they don't buy that phone or that game, nothing, but they have to deal with it. So you have to be a team. The school and the family, you have to be a team. You have to work together. You have to make decisions together, thinking in that kids, thinking in that teenagers, you know. And that's why it's so important. And for us in Brave Up, yeah, we believe and we work with all of them. I mean, we have service, resource, content for all of them. I mean, they're important. We need to understand what the family think about this coexistence, this relationship, this well-being. uh, yeah, I mean, they're part of it. Yeah.
Well, right, because when school's done, you got to go home. But that doesn't mean that the bullying is really at the school. Maybe it's at home and you're bringing it to school. So, we have to find that solution of where it's actually, where the root of the problem is, because we can't put the blame all on the schools and on the teachers and all that. We have to find where the root problem is, because maybe it's something that's being learned at home and being brought into the schools.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we know that in the beginning, when they're kids, these aggressive kids or this bullying is because something happened at home. Sometimes it's that a dog is dead, or some of the grandparents are sick, or something like super normally for the adult world, but for the kids, it's a huge impact, and they react in a different way. So that's why it's so important to be connected. And we know also, like moving to these numbers or data that we have, that the cyberbullying, it happens on weekend, happens on holidays, not in the school time, because when the kids are in the school, they're in class, they're there. I mean, and they're like in Spanish, English, math, history, you know. But after that, after school, when they're in their home, in the social media, in the online gaming, in that moment is where the cyberbullying starts, and the family is in that moment. The family has to be there. So yeah, I mean, they're super important. I have to be super honest. I have been working many years with the schools, and definitely they're the most difficult actors of the community.
Oh, really?
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, when we have this service, 100% of the students participate. Check. 90% of the teachers, amazing. 100% of the board, amazing. 20% of the families. It's like, what? That's the difference. I mean, and we have to give another week and another week and another week waiting for the families. And I mean, I know, dear families, that you are tired, you're busy. I mean, we're living this historic moment. We don't know how to lead and how to live with it. I mean, we know. I know that it's not easy. I mean, I'm not saying that, but we need you. I mean, sorry, but we need you. We need that you participate in this. I mean, you're super important. Yeah.
Well, I like that you say that we need you, and it's true, right? We need the families to start stepping up. You know, if we really
Absolutely.
want solutions, because the parents right away they go on guard, right? When they hear that their child's being bullied, well, it's your problem. It's your problem. How about taking some ownership and responsibility and saying, hey, maybe I'm the problem. Maybe I'm not stepping up. You know, these are the things that we need to do, and we need to look in the mirror and say, hey, maybe it's me.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I know I have been in these difficult conversations, and I know that it's super difficult for a family, for a mother, a father, when the school counselor says like, your kids it's doing bullying, your kids is the bully. I mean, it's some mothers cry. I mean, why? What's happening? Some of them they react super like, no, this is not impossible. This is your fault. I don't believe you, and they don't believe. I mean, you have different reaction, but it's always a difficult moment. You know, I mean, it's not easy when you receive that. You feel that it's your responsibility.
yeah.
Maybe you're not going to say it, but you're feeling it. I mean, you know that you're part of it. So, um, the idea is not to try to find some responsible person in the moment. Is try to like, what we're gonna do with it, because it's not it's not enough say like, okay, we're gonna change the class and we're gonna take this student and we're gonna move to another class, we're gonna separate it. That's not enough. Or okay, I'm gonna change my kid for another school, that something happened. I mean, I'm not going to accept it, I'm going to move it. That's not the answer, because we need, this is important part of everything. We need to teach them, to these kids, to these future citizens in the world, that they have to deal with these situations. They have to deal with these feelings. And if they do this bullying, cyberbullying, wherever, they have to take consequence of it, and something's going to happen for that act, so, and they have to do it. But after that, they have to be part of that class again. That's the most important part of the coexistence, how to recreate and rebuild this relationship after this conflict, after this moment that, okay, it happened, but we have to fix it. And how we're going to react after this moment is the magic part of the school. And for us, in that moment, how they react after, how they reintegrate the students in the class, is how you see the difference of the schools in the way that they manage these situations. One of them, there's going to be super like, you have to do this homework and this work, and you can't do this, blah, 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 a lot of stuff. Another of them, they're going to say like, this is not my problem, you can't be part of this school, we don't accept this kind of students, get out of here. That happens.
Yeah.
That happens a lot. And the third part of the school, they're gonna take care of it. They're gonna say, okay, let's take care of this, because this is not simple. This happens in every school, but let's do something. Let's do something. It's challenging. It's not easy, but that's the way that we can teach them how to be these future citizens. And for us, Brave Up, that's the school. That's the most important part of the school. How I can learn to react in the future, because I'm gonna have a wife, a husband, kids. I'm gonna have a chief. I'm gonna be, I don't know, co-worker in my in the next years, and I must have good relation with all of them. and I'm going to learn in the school, So yeah, I mean, this is a complex problem. It's not easy to fix. It's not easy to manage. I mean, uh, we're living it now. But I think that the one of the like secret that we already know is that working family and school together is going to be easier, for sure.
Do you think now is the time to play the video, Alvaro?
For me, the perfect moment to approach in the first time to technology is 12. It's 12. It's the perfect number for me. I mean, you kind of understand something and you can start to go to this digital world, The average age today in the world that the kids receive their first phone today is like 10, their own smartphone. I mean, they started to use the tablet, the smart TV, the phone of their mom or whatever age before of that. But for us, I think that 12 is a good age. And in the beginning, this is so important. You can play Fortnite, FIFA, any game, not being online. I mean, the kids can do it. So it's super different the approach when they play just like with the computer, like offline, and when you play online. Because when you play online, you have this problem that is cyberbullying, that is the grooming, these adults that change the subject, that create these kids characters to approach the kids and yeah, Um, I think after 12 is a good age, but you have PEGI, the Pan-European Game Information, and you have the ESRB, the Entertainment Software Rating Board, that is two organizations in the world that give to the families resource, content, information, and the age of every series, every movie, and every video game. So you know that Fortnite, for example, is for a student that they are 12, 13, 14, older. No one's know that. And
No,
now no one's know that.
no,
And now,
I didn't even know that.
yeah, I know. I know. I mean, they need marketing. They need marketing. I know it. And but today you have kids that they are 6 playing Fortnite. So the problem is not Fortnite. The problem is that you have 6 years old kids playing a game that it was created for a 12 years old kid. You know the
That is so
difference?
true. Yes, that is so
That's
true.
that's the gap. That's the problem. And again, who make that choices? The family, not the
Exactly.
school. What's the
Yep.
role in this? What's the role of the school in this like topic on this subject? The information. Give this information to their families. Give this ranking, these ages. That's the role of the school here. Give the data. Give the information. Give okay, family. Now you have all the information to make the right decision. But we're gonna give you. Now it's your choice. It's your house. It's your freedom. You
Yep.
know how. I mean, I can. I have a line. That is give you all the information that you need to make the right choice. That's it. And yeah, you have it. PEGI, Pan-European Game Information. Again, all the game of the European Union. You have that organization, and the Entertainment Software Rating Board is the games of Mexico, Canada, United States, and you have like numbers every video game, online or in physical. You have the numbers there. For example, 12, 18, 17 in the in the package of the game. So when you're going to buy it, you have the numbers there, you have all the information.
But I don't think anyone pays attention to that.
No one,
No
no
one
one.
does.
No.
No
And
one.
I know, I know.
Because we get a lot of people that say, well, my son or my daughter has a mind of a 20-year-old but is in a 12-year-old body. Yes, there are children like that they are special children, but that doesn't mean that all children have that mindset, you know and then we're triggering these children because we're saying, no, you can play it, and then they're coming and they're not understanding why they're doing this and this and this and this because their mind's not ready for it.
Exactly. That's it. And please, this are huge organization with expert, with person, like they really work on it. They work to create this awareness, to give this information, and they create it for the families. I mean, that's the idea for it. Go for the families. I mean, for all of you. So yeah, trust them. And for me, the second part of it is talk in the class with the parents of the class about it. I mean, we already know that the first person where the students play each other are the classmates. I mean, that's the circle, you know, that's the first, like, okay, we're going to connect Saturday at 3 p.m. and we want to play together. Okay, let's do it. Amazing. And they play together. So if we already know that, you know the the parents of those kids. So talk each other. Please create this small team and say, okay, how many hours they're gonna play at week? Just one. Okay, just one. Just Saturday. Okay, perfect. Just Saturday. Just between 3 and 4 p.m. Perfect. Okay. All the parents of these 4 kids say that's going to be the 1 hour just Saturday between 3 and 4. The kids play, and after 5 minutes, you talk again. Okay, we're ready. We're ready. 4 o'clock. Boom. The game is over. Ah, no, I wanna play more because my classmate is gonna play more. No, it's not true. We talk with the parents. We know that it's just gonna be 1 hour. Boom, and that's enough. But again, this is like the perfect class. You know, the perfect families that they talk about everything. It's super difficult because in the same, and this is why this is why it's so difficult to manage this coexistence and this relationship, because it's complex, because in this same class you have super different families with
Exactly.
different backgrounds, with different
Exactly.
studies, with different ideas, with different dreams, with different everything. and and you see the difference when, for example, here in Latin America, it happens a lot. Like, one part of the families, they say like, no, they have to drink in my house, they have to learn how to drink whiskey in my house with me, because that's how it blah, 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 that part. And in the other part of the class, and in the other part of the class is like, that's impossible. They're never gonna drink. They have to. They must have 25 to drink for the first time. Blah blah blah. How they gonna like work together? Because in that moment, they're not thinking about the kids. They're not thinking about the students. They're thinking about, I have the right. My point is more important than your points. I'm the right, because it's impossible that they drink. And the other person say, super stupid. They have to drink because they don't know how to do it. They don't know the kids now. They have to, they
Yeah.
want to just say, I'm in the right.
Well, that's a form of bullying, kind of, right? Because it's bringing into, my family does it this way, my family does it that way. So it's kind of like there's no open solution. It's my family, your family, this school, that school. No one's taking responsibility for anything, and it's just continuing to grow and grow and grow. And all they're doing is watering this root of bullying in different ways, in different branches.
Absolutely. And it's just communication. It's just talk about it, because we are all worried about it. I mean, we're all worried about this subject: alcohol, drugs, bullying, cyberbullying. I mean, it's impossible to say, no, I don't care if the kids take drugs. Of course that we care about it. We don't want
Yeah.
that it happens. I mean, okay. So we need to, I think that we need to stop in some part of it, to think like a growth person. I mean, we have to forget it. I mean, like, we have to focus on the kids. I mean, what they need. They need to talk about it. They need to know the consequences, the risk of the situation. We need to talk about this, because this is happening. I mean, they see drugs on internet. They see pornography on the internet. They see everything in internet. I mean, and they are this Gen Z. They are these digital natives. They're, I mean, that the iPhone was born in 2027. I think that's the year 27. I mean, you have today kids in the school that they don't know a word without an iPhone.
Yeah.
Like, they like, the, I don't know, the dinosaurs and the word before an iPhone. I mean, in the same, in the same basket. Everything in the same basket. I mean, it's like, yeah, they're different, but they don't have a special shape or
No.
something that they can worry about it. They can, no, they're the same you and me when we were 12, but now with this,
Yep. It
and they
is.
have, so they need to learn. They need that some adult come and say, okay, this is the way that you have to use it. Like when you went out alone, or the first time that your family give you the keys of your house, and they told you like you can't give you any part, you have to take care of it. I remember, or the first time that I walk alone between my home and my house, and the family say like, don't talk with an exchange, take care of the red light and the green light, and they teach you how to like from this world, this moment. In internet, you have like, I mean, like, I don't know, millions of persons there. So you're giving them like the the key for a huge world, but you're not saying nothing. You're not teaching nothing. You're not. And after that, they see pornography. You say like, oh, yeah. Wait. You don't have to see that. you know
It's already too late.
they saw like, I don't know what on internet. So please, it's important, if you're gonna give them this key of this huge world that is internet, that's million person in this social media, give advice, take care. Imagine that you're like that, like they're flying to another country.
Yep.
Believe,
Monitor
like,
it.
yeah, I mean, you're gonna sit your kid of 10 years old in a plane to Europe alone. Think of that. That's internet.
I like the way that you said that, Alvaro, because we need to start monitoring our children. And we're not being bad parents by monitoring our children. We're actually saving them from a lot of heartache because there's so much cyberbullying going on behind screens, people using words and not taking responsibility for it. And we are damaging our future generation of children. And you're right, we have to start taking care of our children and our next generation of children, because if we don't, it's going to get really messed up.
Yeah, absolutely. You have this. It's everything is viral. It's like fast. You can create any account, any name, any character that you want on internet, and you can say anything you want and never say nothing after that. Um, yeah, I mean, it's important that yeah, I mean, we have to give them in the right moment this tool. I mean, I think that's the secret of everything, and this is super important when you have I'm imagining in my family. I mean, I'm the older guy, then you have my sister, and then you have my small brother, and it's like 2 years of difference between all of us. And it was different when we had the first computer,
Yep.
when we had the first. It was different because I was older. I have different rules than my young brother because it's different. Today is the same, and sometimes we don't do that. We say, okay, we all have the same rules with the same time in the smartphone, the same time in the computer, and it's not fair because no, every year is different, and we recommend to the family to talk with their kids every year. And like Christmas time is like this moment because sometimes in Christmas is when the kids say like, I want a new iPhone, I want a tablet, I want my first PlayStation, or I don't know. In that moment is like the perfect moment to talk about it. Okay, maybe you deserve a new phone, maybe you deserve your first iPhone, I don't know, maybe yeah, it's the moment,
Yep.
maybe yeah, it's the right moment, but talk with them,
Yep.
explain the risk, and in that moment is when you create the rules, not
Exactly. Right from the get
after.
go. Yep.
Exactly, before. Okay, I'm gonna give you this, and look at this. In the schools in Chile, we give them like a kind of contract. We had a lawyer as a friend, so we created this contract where the family and the kids sign this contract between them. So we're not going to use the smartphone when we're eating. The family say, I'm not going to use my smartphone when I'm driving. Perfect. We
Yep.
all together sign this contract. And in one of that rules is, for example, that I, mother or father, can check your telephone anytime you want, anytime I want. I mean,
Yep.
if I come and say, okay, give me your phone, I want to see what you're doing, you have to give him that. And that's
Yep.
a gold rule. And you have to accept it to take your phone, you know? But this talk, it has to be before to give the phone. No after
Exactly.
3 years, you know, no after 3 years, because that happened like you give at 10, but the big problem happened at 15.
Yep.
5 years after you give this tool, then you're gonna talk about sexting, then you're gonna talk about cyberbullying, but he has been learning alone how
Yep.
to use it during 5
5 years.
years. It's
Yep.
impossible now. I mean, it's super difficult to change the way that they're using it after that. So that's why it's so important. Start the prevention of this in the with the families when they have kids between 1, 2, 3 years. I mean, when this topic is not important. I mean, we're not talking about the iPhone because they're a babies. Okay, the perfect time to talk about it, learn about it. Look, Peggy, look the entertainment software rating board, read about it, learn because soon it's going to be a topic for you sooner than
Exactly.
you think. Yeah.
Right? We have to start educating our children. We have to, we need to really step up. And I'm as a parent myself, I, we need to really just be engaged, have that open conversation, get those topics out on the table, and prevent. And that's what your program does, is it prevents, it predicts, and it detects the bullying and the cyberbullying. So if you wanted to share a little bit with the viewers and listeners, a little bit about what Brave Up is, I'm going to play the video first, and then we'll get into what Brave Up is all about and how it got started. So I'm going to bring the video up, and then we're going to know a little bit more on what Brave Up is.
Great.
Half of the world's teenagers suffer violence at school. According to a UNICEF report, bullying disrupts the education of 150 million young people. Research shows a rise in cyberbullying during the COVID-19 pandemic. According to Light, there has been a 70% increase in cyberbullying in just a few months. We present Brave Up, a web and mobile platform shared with school staff to manage the relationships of the school community. Schools can prevent, predict, and detect in real time bullying and cyberbullying in just a few short steps. The software is used by the school's counselor. It has relevant data from the students, predictive models to prevent risk situations, content for teachers, students and their families, and the Brave Up mode, a communication channel where student victims or witnesses of violence can report it. 65 schools in Latin America use the software today, and it will be available soon in the American market. We project more than 50,000 students using the software during this year. The time is now. We are ready to impact the educational model with the highest rate of school violence in the world. In Brave Up, we believe and trust that with technology, we can face this global problem in a scalable and effective way. #StopBullying.
So if you wanted to share a little bit more about what Brave Up is and how you got the name, because I'm really curious about how you got the name Brave Up.
I I don't remember actually how it was. I mean, we were trying to. I mean, we had this software. We created the first idea. It has a super different name. It was Jubo. It was like your voice, but together. Like that. That was the idea. Um, I I had this program with this incubator in Chile, and they asked me like go and talk with bullying victims in the school before to create nothing, before to create a code or a log, go and understand what's happening because I I didn't I didn't have this problem in my school when I was a kid. I mean, I had like a really normal and great experience. So I went to the schools. I did this focus group. I started to talk with the students. I started to understood the feeling about everything. I mean, we cried together. I was like, wow, this is really happening. And the word brave came after this, like, wow, you have to be really brave to talk about it. I mean, you have to be really brave to stand up after all of this. I mean, in that moment, that word, and in Spanish is valiente, and is brave. It starts to like feels like super like, yeah, you have to. um and then, I mean, I always have think that it has to be globally. So in the beginning for me it was like it has to be in English. I mean, I'm from Chile. No one in Chile speaks English. I mean, in the beginning it was the worst idea ever, because no one's cool to say the name. I mean, like, sorry, so you are Alvaro from where? I mean, from Brave Up. What's that, Brave? What? Sorry, I can't understand you. I mean, like, oh, yeah. Now, like, I moved to United States. Now, like, I'm talking English with you, and you say, like, wow, the Brave Up name is a good name. I feel like, yeah, after 8 years, we did it. I mean,
I like it
finally.
because it's brave up, right? Like step up. It's time to
Ex-
step up.
exactly. That's the message about everything. I mean, you have to do it. You have to try to change this aggressive culture. I mean, like, if you're a victim, you need to talk. You have to. You deserve to talk. I mean, we're gonna give you this channel, but also, I I try to talk. This is super personal, but I always try to talk to the 15 years old Alvaro. That kid that maybe was this like popular kid in the school, but not for that reason didn't care about what happened to the classmates. But uh, I saw many situations. I I saw many problems, but not always I did something. Not always I talk. Not always I went to talk with the teacher or with the school counselor, or many times I just was quiet because I didn't want that it happened to me. Um, so many times when I went to schools, when I create this technology or everything, I try to think in that person, that I know that they care, they know that they don't want that happens to one of their classmates, but they don't know how to do it, and or they don't know what to do. So we give you this channel also for you, anonymous. Don't worry about it. We don't want to know who you are. We want to know what's happening in that class, what's happening with that classmate. Use it. Um, and that's brave also,
Yep.
and you have to be brave also. So yeah, yeah, I mean, I connect personally a lot with that student, and happens. I mean, these witnesses, these students, they use the platform. Sorry, I connect with some really personal. I don't know why, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, I want to get into the data. We spoke about this a little bit before we went live. What are the datas of Brave Up, and how many schools and locations and all that? And are you looking at coming into Canada? Because I know you're not in Canada yet, but are you looking to come into Canada?
Yeah, today we're working with 109 schools in Chile, 4 schools in Colombia, 2 schools in Mexico, 5 schools here in the United States. 70,000 students are using already the software, and we project that we're gonna finish this year with 300,000 students. Um, we want Canada, absolutely. I mean, yeah, I mean, we want Canada, we want Mexico, we want Spain, we want England. I mean, it's crazy when you talk about this topic, when you talk about in any country that I have been. It's like, yeah, you relate with in some point with some brother or sister, or some friend, or you live this, and you know it, and you feel it, and it's like, oh, a lot of families. When I, for example, when I came to the United States, and I went to the embassy for the visa and everything, and they asked me like, oh, now I'm renting an apartment here in the United States, and they asked me like, what do you do? I said like, no, I created this software to detect and prevent bullying and cyberbullying. It's like, what? Tell me how it works. I mean, you always want to know more, because
Yep.
uh, sadly, what I'm going to say, but today is normal to see. It's normal to see bullying and cyberbullying in the school. It's something that is happening. So
It's
it's not
sad to
like
say it is,
it's
but it is the hard truth, right? When we have to be truthful, we have to kind of give out the right numbers and the right data in order to fix anything. And it's like you said, Alvaro, we don't have the correct numbers. We don't have the right data because people are not filling in the right data. They're not giving us the data in order for us to know the actual data. But the data that you have is scary in itself, and that's not even the real data.
Exactly. I mean, you are looking like the one part of this huge iceberg. I mean, that's and for example, in Latin America today, after 2 years of COVID, of online classes, of we're like coming back to the schools, and we're looking and we're living like a huge levels of aggressions, of violence in every school, in every part, because these kids, they don't know how to manage what they feel.
Yep.
They don't know how to do
Well,
it. I
they're
mean,
being told what to feel.
exactly.
They don't even know, like if you ask a child how they feel and they say, I'm sad. Okay, well, why are you sad? Well, I'm sad. Okay, but get into the feeling of sad. What is making you sad? Did your dog die? Did you lose a friend? Did you lose your favorite toy? Like, why are you
is
sad?
the is the COVID? Is because you don't have a teacher? Is because your dad lose their job? What? Tell me more. I mean, it's important. And now we're doing these activities in the schools in Latin America, that the small kids, they draw, they paint their feelings. It's like one of my activities to like the teacher, they have to know what they're feeling before the learning process, before the class, before the English class, or any of them. You need to know how they are
Yeah.
actually, because they have to be good, they have to feel good to learn. I mean, we already know that. Eh, Moving fast to the data again, like we know, when the school, when they have a good coexistence, when they have good well-being, they have better learning process. We already know that. That is not just like, oh, these hippie guys try to fix the well-being. No. No. It's
Well,
not
what's
that.
wrong with a hippie fixing the world, right?
Yeah, like, yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah, just more loving.
At least we'll be
No.
happy, but
I mean, I
it's
won't. I
true.
mean, yeah, I mean, it's true. I mean, part of me, absolutely. But I study engineering. I love data. I mean, it's kind of more deep, or just love. I mean, um, like I told you when we met in the beginning, this idea was born trying to give more quality of the
Yeah,
education in the school, trying to give the right data to the teachers to improve their results, the learning process. I mean, for us in Chile, in Latin America, it's a huge topic. We want to have a better education. So we know that this well-being, this coexistence, this social emotional learning process is also super connected with the learning process. It's connected with the results. It's connected with these numbers, with this standard test and everything. Yeah, a school with a good well-being, you're gonna have better results. So, yeah, for the teachers, for this family that they don't believe in these topics, yeah, I mean, it's gonna happen. Yeah, it's super connected. Yeah.
well, and you can feel the passion behind the project too, right? And I think that's where it makes a difference. When you're passionate about what you're doing, you actually open more doors. You actually have people who connect more because they see the passion behind you. They're not just, well, I just made this program and just go do it. Where you're like, hey, this is a cool program, come and check it out. I'm telling you, it might change one life, it might save one life, and that's all we're doing, is one life at a time you know
And that's it. I mean, I think that all that we're working on education, we're not doing it for the money.
no, no.
We're not doing for the money, because we know that it's 10 times harder than any job. I mean,
Yeah.
it's super true. I mean, I'm not in a fintech or a e-commerce or a delivery app. No. I mean, this has this purpose. The team, the co-founders, myself, we have this purpose, to actually impact these lives. And it has been difficult. It has been super hard to like being 8 years alive, like a company, paying salaries, paying taxes, trying to grow. I mean, this is a small company. We're 20
Yeah.
persons working here. So, I mean, you know the stress of every month, try to have this better company for all of them also. But like you said, when you go in and you detect one case, when you help that student, you remember that name forever.
You
I
do.
mean, forever. I mean, for me, happened 1 week ago with one school in Colombia that they were starting to use it, and one grade in 5 minutes, boom, detecting in the class. Also online, the same students. The algorithm say like hey, take care of these students because it's offline and online, everything. I still remember the name of that kid, you know? I mean, and I have 100, but I know because one time, one life at a time, like you say, I mean, it's like, and it changed life. I mean, for me, this changed my life. I mean, now I'm living in the United States. I'm talking English with you. I mean, 8 years ago.
And you're having tea with me, right?
Yeah, I'm having tea with you. You know, I mean, it's like, what happened with my life in the last year? But yeah, I mean, I think that you need to have this extra energy because it's
You
a
do.
really difficult topic. It's not easy. Not all our strategy, not always our technology work perfectly. Like now, we had to fix a lot of stuff to have to try to improve faster. And I think you need this passion. You need to be connected with this purpose because I think it's gonna take like not just 2 or 5 more years, maybe 20 more years to talk again and say like, yeah, maybe look now the changes, or maybe never gonna see it. I don't know, you know. So that
But if you
I,
don't start something, you don't know, right? And you don't know what change you're going to make if you don't try. And that's what tea time is about as well, is if you don't try. I serve a simple cup of tea. I'm the lady that wants to make a difference with tea. You want to make a difference with a program, and we're both here today connecting and aligning and making a difference by using our voices and using what we're passionate about to impact people's lives. And we ain't doing it for the money. We're doing it to educate the minds that you can make a difference. You don't need $1 million to make a difference. You don't need that fancy business to make a difference. You just need the passion and the purpose and the why you're doing it. And this is why you create the difference. So I think now is the perfect time before we wrap up here, because we're just going, time's flying fast here. I
yeah,
want to know what your tea is. So if I ask you what your tea is, what would your tea be, Alvaro?
oh, this is the hard question. I have 3 words here that I wanted to bring to you. Um, the first one it was transformation because for me, the last 8, 10 years of my life, it have been a lot of it. I have been different Alvaros in different moments, and I had to be that flexible in my life because everything changed. So I think that word for me is super person always, like be flexible, transform, yeah, from the life. The second and the same word that I gave you a few minutes ago, it was energy. I mean, yeah, some a good friend of me, Lisa Patty, she's a coaching voice here in United States. She told me like, Alvaro is like a coffee in a person. It's like, oh, faster, it's a faster. You know, it's like it's super.
You're that espresso shot.
Yeah, something like that, like boom, in a person, you know. Uh, and I speak super fast. And in English, I try to do it slower because it's different and difficult. But yeah, I think that energy is one of my is who I am. And the third one, it has to be an Spanish word, and for me that is everything is amor, that is love, you
Oh,
know, because I think that you need a lot of love to do this. You need a lot of love to confront everything, and it has been part of this journey. I mean, amor, that is in the Spanish of love, is part of what Brave Up is what is part of what Brave Up is looking for. And I think it's what we all need now. We need a little bit more of love. So that's in Spanish is going to be my third word.
and that's a good strong cup of tea, because that is actually who you are, right? You transformed as a little boy into the energy that you are today, that espresso shot, and the more of love for the future, because you have that goal for the future of Brave Up, and your one word that you did give me when all of the guests get this question is one word that describes them. And your one word was energy. And now I understand what your energy means. And your favorite color was blue.
Mm.
A lot of the viewers and guests and listeners don't know this, but they get asked certain questions before they get on Tea Time. And last year I was making their posters their favorite colors. This year I'm actually trying to understand who they are as an individual, because colors speak a lot to me. And I noticed that Brave Up is blue. So it gives your favorite color to the audience without even them knowing this about you. And I think that that's brave in itself, because you're actually giving a part of yourself to the viewers and the listeners, you know, who you are. And blue is a common color for an energy guy that's that espresso shot, you know, and does make that difference. Your program, if someone goes on the website and it's not in that country yet, can they still take part in that program?
Yeah, absolutely. Now we're we really believe that our tool works amazing. So any school that today in any part of the world, in English or Spanish, that are today the only two languages of the platform, can use this software, can use this algorithm, this survey, this sociogram in one class or two classes for free, absolutely, and see what happens. And you know, some schools, they take this freemium model and they say, okay, I'm gonna do it in a class that I know that we have bullying. I'm gonna test it. I'm gonna see that it's actually working because I know it, and happens, and it mark and it shows, and the school counselor say like, works. Another school say, I'm gonna try it in a class that I don't know nothing. I don't know what's happening. They are new in the school. I don't know them, and they take it, and we detect some stuff. So please don't be afraid. It's a small activity or of 15 minutes in a class, in the computer class or in the tablet or in online, in home. You choose. You can do it wherever you want. After 15 minutes of this survey, you have the results in real time, everything, the positive relationship, the negative relationship, the possible students that are victim of bullying and cyberbullying, and also the relationship of the students in the online gaming. So you can have the relationship offline and online, and you can compare what happened in the same class. So yeah, it has been amazing. We have, like I told you already, 70,000 students using this software, answering this service, and the algorithm is working. So yeah, our dream is impact to 25 million students in the world. That will be like the dream, and we can celebrate together if we can do it. Yeah, absolutely. That
I have
would
the
be,
energy in person.
that would be, can you imagine it, like 25 million kids, like, well, that will be huge, that would be amazing, and that's the dream, and we're trying to build that impact company, that impact startup. We want to change the world. We really want.
So, Alvaro, if anybody wanted to contact you to have you speak for their school or for their organization or anything like that, how would they get a hold of you?
Braveup.com, that's the webpage. You have all the data, the information there. If you want to write me an email, ac.braveup.com. Simple, easy, ac.braveup.com. Yeah, exactly, braveup.com there. You have all the information. You have you can ask for the demo. You can ask for the freemium. You can write us an email. We're here. We're ready. We want to work with many schools. So yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
So, do you do any live streaming or anything like that, like on your YouTube channel, on any other platforms, Instagram, Twitter? Do you do any of those kind of reach outs?
Yeah, in Spanish we do it a lot, every month, a new one, and in April we're gonna launch the first one in English. It's difficult, you know that for me this talks is challenging. I'm
You have
super
the
nervous.
energy, you can do it.
You don't know that, but I'm super nervous behind of this. Yeah. But yeah, I know that we need to face it, we need to try it, we need to do it, we need to talk about it, because we know a lot and we need to share all the information that we have. So yeah, we're gonna start on LinkedIn, on YouTube. I'm gonna send you all the information so you can help me with
Awesome.
all of it. So yeah. We're
Do
gonna
you
start
have
in
any,
April.
and do you have any future programs that will be coming out with Brave Up, like workshops or anything like that?
I think that in April we're gonna try to do this talk about cyberbullying,
Okay.
how to detect it, and that's like the first topic. But after that, we're gonna try to receive the feedback of the audience, of the counselors, of the teachers, and try to see what they need. Because I think that for us in this moment, that's super important. Try to understand what the school communities needs of us here in the United States, in Canada, maybe also more than in Latin America, that we have more experience. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. And I want to meet you in person so we can have that energy, that espresso in person,
You know,
and
if I
open
travel
those doors
there,
together.
yeah, if I travel there, you know that I'm gonna call you when I visit you. And yeah, thank you for having me. This has been amazing. I mean, we have been talking for like an hour, and this for me felt like 10 minutes. I
I
have
know,
to say
right?
you.
It's been like,
Yeah, it was great. It was
but
great.
it was a topic that we're both passionate about, is educating the minds, educating people and taking ownership for our responsibilities of parents and educators as well, right? Because that's what we are. We are educators, and we're bringing you the real stuff, the real hard truths. And like you said, Eduardo, we don't have the right data. We need the right data. We
Yeah,
need the families to step up. Only 20%. Like we need, come on, we need at least 50%. Let's get to 50 at least, within the next year. Like let's try and
absolutely.
get to 50, you know.
That's right. We need your families. Yeah, that's the message for today. We need you. Yeah, absolutely.
So any final words before we wrap up your tea time?
No, thank you very much for this amazing talk. It was great. Like I said, for us, and this is super important, the school is the first society of all of us. We're learning how to be with another. We're learning how to manage our feelings. We're learning how to coexist with another one, so we can learn to be kind. We can learn to be a good person. We can learn to be in the love part of everything. And I think that's the future of the schools, and we need to take care of it, that with the same energy that we take care of the class of Spanish, math, history, chemistry, biology. I don't know. It's really super important, and that's for us our big topic. Like, try to the schools, like, okay, this is going to be important for us. We're gonna take care of it, and we're gonna work together. And in this work together is all the school community, families, teachers. I mean, we didn't talk like nothing about teachers, how they feel, their well-being, their salary, many topics that they're facing in this same school. The kids, they have their problems, the family, they have it, but the teachers also. And we, this is maybe for the second part of this talk, but
We might
the,
just need a part two because there's so much information, and it
the
really
well-being of the
it really
teachers.
piques my
Yeah.
mind, right? Because I am passionate about education. I did not finish high school. I don't have my GED. I tried 3 times. My mind just doesn't want to pass that stubborn math. So I know that it's not meant for me, but that doesn't mean that I can't stop educating myself. It doesn't mean that I can't stop looking for solutions and results. Sometimes we focus so much on those diplomas and that. And you're right. We haven't even hit the teachers and the systems and that. And we might just need a second part two of Brave Up, because the information needs to get out there. And this is what Tea Time is for. It's to get information out there. It's to educate. This platform is for awareness, and we need awareness that cyberbullying and bullying it's sad to say, it is spoken of every day, everywhere, globally, not just in Chile, not just in US, not just in Mexico, but all over. Bullying is a global pandemic. It needs to stop, and we need results. So my goal is, with this tea time, is I want to have at least 50% of the parents step up so we can make a difference in our children's lives. Listen to this tea time, share this tea time, reach out to Alvaro, reach out to Brave Up, and see how you can make a difference and how you can get the system into your school. Like you said, it's not in our country right now. That doesn't mean that we can't start using it. Alvaro will be more than happy to come to Canada and get it into our school systems. If any of the educators that are out there that are listening or watching the replay or share this tea time with an educator, I strongly believe that this program will make a difference. And Eduardo, I really want to thank you and your team for
Thank
reaching
you.
out to me and having you come on my platform, because it means the world to me.
Thank
Being a
you. Thank
survivor
you.
of being bullied, it really means a lot to me. And I want to thank you for coming and sitting and having tea with me. And I want to thank each and every one of the viewers and listeners that did tune in today and that will be watching the replay. Please reach out to us. And if you have any questions and you can't reach Brave Up, you can reach out to me. I can direct a message. I have direct contact with Eduardo and his team. So if you have any questions at all, reach out to Miss Liz and I will connect. I will connect you guys. And if anyone is looking to have Eduardo on his platform for your podcast or radio station, please, again, reach out, because this is how we're going to make a difference, is by connecting and moving the program. If it stands still, we make no difference. So we need to move it. We need to spill the tea. We really, really need to spill this tea today. So again, thank you, Eduardo, for tuning in. I want to thank each and every one of you again for tuning in. Your comments and your support and love, it truly means a lot to me. Each and every tea time does make a difference, one cup at a time. And tune in to April. April, I have 4 amazing guests that will be coming on. It will be every Thursday next month. I'm trying to stick to one day so that you guys all know the consistency of when Miss Liz will be coming on. So next month it will be Thursdays. So if you tune, incredible tea time. Next month I have youth organization industry coming on. Elizabeth Charity. I have Kevin Payne coming on. He's a doctor who lives with MS and chronic pain, so he'll be sharing about that. And he's a skydiver, so I really want to get into that subject because I'm scared of heights, and I think skydiving has a lot to do with fear. So he'll be talking about that. And then I have I'm trying to remember names here. I got so many people coming at me. I have the mom boss coming on. I'm going to name her company because I can't think of her name, but she'll be coming on about gender equality and chocolate. And of course, we have chocolate in April because April is Easter. So people do buy chocolate for Easter. So I thought it resonated with that as well. And then we have, finishing up, we have Donna Reason coming on, and her tea time will be a special edition tea time. There will be 2 parts to Donna's story. And we will be doing a butterfly transformation with her story, because her powerful personal overcoming growth story is empowering. And I think it needs to be out there for a lot of people that are struggling, that don't want to come forward and heal themselves. So that story, please watch out for that, because that will be a completely different kind of tea time. I'm working on a lot of special effects for that one. A lot of powerful, empowering messages for that tea time. Not because I don't value all of my tea time guests, but her tea time is very empowering. And at this time, I think with COVID and everything coming, I think it's a time to bring it to the table. So again, Eduardo, thank you for tuning into Tea Time. And thank you again to all the viewers. And I will see you April 7th at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with a new tea time to make a difference. One cup of tea at a time. And Eduardo, don't leave. I will talk to you again.